When and why did Jamaica as culture move from cooked food to fast food? What are the health, social, and economic consequences of this transition in eating habits?
All right. You know, there was a global movement in the 1980s. And them called Reagan and Thatcher. Them that pushing what they call liberalization, free markets. See? And you find so the liberalization of the free market scenarios, a number of other things emerge globally as well, including contraction of the families, from extended families to include your grandmother and them thing there, to nuclear families. Even housing designs, you know. You might start building more 2 and 3 bedroom house and build apartments. Because the granny now living in the apartment in a 2 and 3 bedroom, the granny in their country and things still. So do you recognize how important then family structure is in terms of what people actually eat? In extended family, people eat more cooked food. Them cook more of them food because eating together is part of the fact ritual. No, when you become very urbanized, like under the free market culture now, when you get up, as I mentioned before, 5 o'clock, forget work, and come back 8 o'clock in the night, what is that you eat and your children eat? If you can't afford to pay somebody to cook and the grandmother is not there, would have prepared food for you. That may I show the eye. But the fast food kill you fast. And the food that take a time for cook are the one that actually make you live longer and things still. See? So it's the 1980s that came in, that shift to this liberalized, Americanized culture. So the face of that culture would have been like a Michael Jackson and Madonna and those persons in that time. Although you know, so Michael Jackson is not no regular youth still, no. Don't ramp with that virgin doing, it's not a regular youth, you know. So it's like it's a dual face. Because him usher in a new generation of thinkers, but he never know him that be a person who think in the way him think. Because he's not a man who support no folly. Remember, you know, the mark of a great society is based upon how you treat your children and elderly, you know. And you know what, Michael Jackson's greatest passion is really about children. So he uses that as his greatest weakness. So he try to find everything bad to say about how he relate to youth. But then you look and see the songs when they sing. He must think about the environment, he must think about world oppression, he must talk about, and that is the man you try to make look bad. And the other man, them who are the bad things, you don't even pay them no mind. You understand what I say? So while him that usher in a generation in the 1980s, which is a new set of thinkers, seeing, at the same time, it will also usher in a kind of consciousness. And the same thing go on with Jamaica too. So our music, which was being influenced at the time, by what we call narrow leaf herb, what we call sativa. We call it sativa herb now still. See, the one that take long. So you get more exposure to the sun, which is the soul, which is what we are supposed to be energized by. The music at the time was different. Because sativa herb have a different physiological and psychological impact on you than the broadleaf herb, what we call the indica herb. So the man them fight on a lot of our sativa herb up until the end of the 1970s, the beginning of the 19th, and brought in a lot of their lab herb in the 1980s. And you will see a shift in the actual music, matter the rhythm of the music. No, note. That is not to say people can't use computer. Because earth always a progress and every generation has got progress. Yes? But the faster the rhythm, it impacts your breathing, it impacts adrenaline flow, it impacts all those things. That's why when man go war, then speed up the drum beat. When you meditate, you use slower music. You cannot DJ foolishness. I mean, I say foolishness now means that things are not uplifting Nyahbinghi rhythm, you know. It wouldn't feel right. You have to make case and say it. So you talk fast. Because you don't want nobody really hear what you say. But if you want people to really hear what you say, a man taking time for so him say because he want people to listen it and say use a music that is more soothing and people will listen to it. So the 1980s was a serious juncture that accelerated past 2000 as well. But remember, you know, we are going into what is called an information age. From the 1970s, the man them sing that a Bunny Whale, the man from the man them sing them kind of song there. We are going to the information age, which is the Aquarian age. And the way information is disseminated quickly is through replicating what the brain does, which is the same binary mode. Like we self-replicate binary and things still, is the 1-0 mode. But that becomes more digital and computerized. See? But what is wrong with a computer? Is the use of the computer. There's nothing wrong with the computer. Because I can use the same computer and disseminate a lot of positive information. But I can use the computer to create a distraction and things still seen. And some think that during the 1980s, that whole increase in the speed of which things are done also impacted with the basic lifestyle. People have no time to really take care of themselves. So it's not fast food alone, you know. People don't buy no more lens. You can have a fast pants and now just go buy a jeans pants. Like you can buy a burger. But I wait for a man to make a shirt for me, I can just go buy a shirt. So everything became more commercialized and it led to the destruction of a lot of what you call smaller industries in Jamaica and things still. The fast food is not a new phenomenon though, you know. I just the way it has manifested because when we are in the jungle, Mr. Arby usually have a film place when I think of fast food himself, but I sell fritters. Yeah, he must sell fritters with salvage night, I must sell banana fritters. I must sell fried dumpling. I must sell sprat and the man place almost straight through the night. But it's not a fast food that bad. It's a fast food where good. So it's convenience fast food selling, you know. But they must sell the price in the convenience and sell something good in the, because which food can fast than a mango? None of them food that can fast than a banana. Yeah, that's what I say. And the fastest food them there is creation give the fastest food, but the packaged fast food that is being presented now, unfortunately it kills people. It's almost like poison and things still, you know. So if you check it, all our lifestyle illnesses, a lot of people have very high levels of fast food sectors, they have high levels of obesity, and they have high blood pressure and diabetes, heart disease. All those things are there because of that same kind of fast lane culture. But there's nothing wrong with increasing speed, because they can increase speed and still have good things. When they increase speed and do bad things now, then it becomes a challenge.
What are the health and social economic consequences of this transition?
How we are saying, man, you see what going on, man? Jamaica and the Caribbean have some of the highest rates of obesity, some of the highest rates of diabetes, some of the highest rates of all lifestyle illnesses, some of the highest rates of prostate cancer, which is directly related to what you eat as well. You know, we learned yesterday from some people. The man find that there's a genetic relationship between prostate cancer, testicular cancer, ovarian cancer, and breast cancer. So if you find that your family have a member with prostate cancer, you as a sister is at great risk of getting breast and ovarian cancer. Now, so anything about prostate and testicular cancer, which are things that led to the reproduction of sperms, and you talk about ovary and breast cancer, which is what leaves the nurturing. It represents that the reproductive organs of black people are being attacked. And it is attacked through what? Food and lifestyle. So therefore when you eat now, you're not eating for yourself, you know. You remember saying when you eat now, you eat for all your great-grandchildren, you know. Because if you have a certain kind of lifestyle, consumption pattern, it reduces the risk of those things emerging in your genetics, which can impact your children in the future. So if you say you cook a pot now and you say, yeah man, I'm going to eat all food my belly, you don't realize that the truth and the fact what you're doing is building your genetic code for your children, for when your eggs in a year. You see it? Yeah, but that is the reality. So you have to really know where you eat. You have to really know where you eat, because you not just eat first. But watch out now. You see you talk about it deep. How deep it is. When the sister pregnant, you know, she doesn't eat anything. She comes and weird, say, watch out, me eat that thing. How it going to impact all the baby? You don't even want to tell the man come near you some of the time, because I want to transfer something to you, going to impact all the baby. So we know say those things are very, 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 very real. We know say the baby inside it, even if you read, will impact the mind of the child. You know? So we know these things, but sometimes we don't really slow down and think about it in terms of that long view. But again, it's because of the fast-paced world, you know, kind of time to slow down and think. It's automatic pilot and move off for most of the time, you know. It's just true, and I probably smoke enough herb. We get up a space to think. Me and Bob say it all the time. He say, boy, nobody find out herb because we just smoke herb. It give you a little space to think, you know. Until you start thinking, they become dangerous. Because rather than work for the man, you want to be the man yourself. That's a nice interview by Bob. You know? So, the thinking, we create a dynamic which causes people not to think. And guess what is the insult now? Them come and tell you, say, oh, you must go think outside of the box. You can't think with a box by your head. If there's a box by your head, literally there's less oxygen and you cannot think. But Rastafari make it know so the box don't exist, so you can't like Rasta. So you can't come to everything outside of the box. Because the box is the right head for me to think outside of the box. You need to do that because you're telling me that you are boxed in based on how you are socialized. That's what socialization is, that boxing of you. Them says the process that makes them human. And the agents of socialization we know before we are youth, I grow up, school, church, house. Now we also include social media. But those are the things that create the parameters in terms of which you tend to operate. So Chu and I don't operate in that box now. Them say he's a deviant. And he's a troublemaker. But know that when you do maths, it is the deviation, what them call the outlier, which actually brings up or draws on the average. So it's that those who are in the box, who are under the normal part of the curve. The hope is to ensure now that those of us who deviate in the sense that it's positive, so you can bring up which is what Rastafari is. The unique differentiation thing in Jamaica as a nation of people is Rastafari, you know. And by extension, the Caribbean, you know, is that part of us that makes us so unique. See? And what it does though, it positions Jamaica as a space of kind of spiritual consciousness that many persons look towards. So essentially it is bringing up the average. So if Rastafari is staying at the box now, what do you think will happen? You can continue to mash up long time, man.
Well, let me hear you say, man.